What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Last time we were on Kiwi's motor, we did the crank install and got all that together. Today we're going to do the pistons, get the rings on, get the rod bearings in, and try to get this short lock the other day. Of course, in my last video we were talking about protecting the motor and everything when you're not working on it. So when I did the crank install, I turned around and went ahead and covered the block up so that way it wouldn't get any flash rusting going on again. Because inside my garage here I have no insulation. So when it gets cold outside it gets damp in here. So anyway, we're going to uncover this. We're also going to talk about pistons today. The difference between the Eagle pistons and pre-Eagle pistons, and why when you do a Eagle head swap, why the compression is so high on the pre-Eagle. And we'll touch base on that a little bit. But other than that, we're going to get pistons ready to go and get them in the block. So anyway, I was talking about protecting your motor. Of course, I put a bag on it. And I wiped it down with oil and everything so it wouldn't flash flood. Or flash rust, excuse me, it's still early in the morning here. And I also sit there and put rags in all the cylinders. So that way, if there any moisture got into the bag, it was soaked up through the rags, and we don't have any rusting, so we're going to take those out now. Nice and clean and no rust. Clean motor is a happy motor. So anyway, talking about the pistons and stuff. This is a pre-Eagle piston that we're using on the build. It's a used piston. It's 20 over or 0.50. And these came out of a motor that I bought a while back. It was a reman motor that someone had bought, put it in their car. It lasted a month, and then it started having an issue with it running rough. And so I bought the block and the heads and everything for like 150 bucks. You know, it had low miles on it. And when I got it home, took it apart, it dropped the valve seat in number one. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be able to salvage a whole lot out of this. But I was able to salvage out the block, the crank, 7 of the pistons, 8 of the rods. So anyway, turned around and kept them. And then when we did the build for Kiwi, I had a standard bore block that needed to be bored over. So this worked out great. So we get to use pistons. Yes, these are used pistons. Make sure they're all in good shape. Make sure they're all cleaned out. I turned around and measured the rod length out because the early models were known for rod stretch over RPM. Everything looked good. The rod bearing cap area is in good shape. Nothing got around. Nothing spun. And it makes for a good piston on a build. And you know, a lot of people buy new pistons and everything else. End of the day, for me, dude, it's all about building on a budget. So anyway, the reason I want to kind of touch base real quick on the 2 different pistons. This is a pre-Eagle piston, and as you can see, the dome is a little bit bigger. And this is why you get more compression when you do an Eagle head swap, because you're going from an open head cylinder head to a closed chamber head. And when you're using these pistons, it brings up the compression rate along with the closed chamber heads. That's why a lot of people use like an 060, 070 gasket to get down to 11.5 to 1. This is an Eagle piston. And as you can tell between the two, the domes are different in size. This has got a smaller dome on it. And you also notice in the later models on Eagle motors and stuff, they changed the piston design altogether. So you got less of a skirt. Now for these guys that y'all doing these swaps and stuff, you can do a full Eagle swap. I did that with my 06 Charger. It's got the Eagle pistons, Eagle rods, Eagle heads, Eagle intake. They both weigh about the same. I mean, they're not that far off. So if you're worried about vibration and stuff like that, you can take your crank and the pistons for the Eagles, take it to your local machine shop, have them rebalance the crank for this rod and piston setup. Me personally, I haven't had an issue. And I've got over 28,000 miles on that motor now. No vibration, no nothing. And I kind of like using these a lot better because number one, the pre-heat ones I've got over here are press pit. These have the little clips in it, so I can sit there and change them out really quick, which is what I like about them. And I ain't had an issue with the clips coming out of it with IRPMs because I do take my car to the track once in a while. But just want to touch a little bit base with this. Same board size on the Eagle and the pre-Eagle. You know, so the guys that are building on a budget, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. But like I said before, we're going to get ready to get started on this. I've already started installing the rings and stuff on the pistons. I'm going to finish that up real quick, and then we'll get started on the block. So, start putting the rings and everything on the pistons. You always want to make sure everything's cleaned out, your grooves are cleaned out, no debris, stuff like that, especially when you're working with used pistons. So we're going to put the oiler rings on. Like so. You know, and they make tools for this. I mean, where you can sit and flange the rings out and then do the install instead of wrapping around the piston. I've always done this way. I'm comfortable with doing it this way, and it works for me. You might find a system that works better for you. But always make sure everything's clean. Check your ring lands and everything. Make sure they're in specs and not stretched out or flattened in any way from damage or anything like that. Now most time when you get your ring pack and stuff, it comes with your second ring, first ring, your oiler set, and a lot of times on the bags and stuff it's numbered 1, 2, and oiler. So what I like to do is I'll open the bag up and I'll put the bags underneath, so that way, you know, I'm not getting confused when I'm loading these pistons up. So anyway, we got the oilers in. We're going to put in ring number 2. Like I said, I really don't have I guess I should say I've got my own little technique to do with this. And a lot of people do it this way. And I always want to make sure there's no obstruction, everything moves up and down. Usually when I install my rings, you know, people have their own different ways of doing things. I'll separate the top ring from the bottom ring as far as the opening goes. I know there's a lot of people say, well, you know, there's not really that much of an issue doing it. They're going to end up walking around anyway in the motor. But this is something I like to do. And so I'll sit there and just kind of space them apart a little bit on each side of the skirt. And they're fairly easy to do. So I'm going to finish the rest of these. Alright, well we're back. Let's go ahead and start dropping some pistons in. Get some little center glue out. One thing you want to remember with these when you're doing your pistons and the rods and everything, the rod caps need to match on the rod because they're forged cracked pistons, so make sure you keep them all together as one. Now a lot of people sit there when they're doing this, they'll put something in there to keep from hitting the crank and stuff, but we're all good. I've done this a few times. So, everything's set in. Make sure I'm lined up. Now these are pretty easy. They have arrows that point, and the arrows on these point towards the front of the motor. Get my little hammer here. And I always sit there and make sure bottom part of your crank is furthest away from the piston, so as you're tapping it in, you're not hurting it in any way. Once we get it in place, look down where our rod is at. And there you go. these, when I first put them together, I put them down hand tight or I snug them. I don't torque them until I get all of the pistons in. Of course, it helps if I get the right socket. I'm so used to everything being 10s. All right, let's put another piston up. But I hope everybody's having a good one today. I'm gonna work on this for a little bit and then head over to the shop and do some more work on slide hammer. And yeah, still doing body work. Tony's gonna get started on building the motor here hopefully this week. And try to get that done, we got a transmission for it, we gotta go through it, rebuild it. And hopefully get this stuff done in time. Get her down in there because the hot rod tour is gonna be coming up here shortly before we know it. And I gotta test drive that car and get all the bugs worked out of it. And then I think not this Friday, I think the following Friday, I'm gonna be doing a live on John Wilburn's channel with the No Name Nationals. So kind of check that out. I don't know if it's just gonna be me or if he's gonna have another guest. But it ought to be fun. It'll be my first live. And hopefully everything goes well. All right, get my crank position. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing my own live, but I want to kind of get more familiar with doing my YouTube channel. And of course, you know, I'm not one of these people that get really overly excited and pumped. I mean, this is me 24/7, good mood, bad mood. I just sit here and do what I do. I love what I do and appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. So let's get the other piston up. Again, put your hand down here so it's not hit the crank. Always make sure your hands are clean. Yeah, you can hear it when it bobbles out on the crank. But for me, this is like almost as good as getting wind therapy on my bike. I mean, I can just get in the zone with this thing. I'll lose track of time. And it's just, for me, it's very relaxing. And I hope people are doing your own builds right now. I hope you're enjoying them. And I mean, this is not for a lot of people, you know. They don't want to get in this deep with the motor and stuff. So, you know, they take them to the mechanic, hey, do a rebuild, and, you know, and they just forked out $4,000, whatever, plus or minus. And a lot of these people get discouraged. But if you're one of these at-home builders, mechanical knowledge, I mean, there's plenty of info on YouTube. Just kind of weed through the good and the bad. Get you a manual for your vehicle. I love the old Chilton books and everything. And just take your time, don't rush. But I hope everybody's having a good Friday. Trying to get restarted up here. Forgot to put the mute on my phone for incoming calls, so that kind of interrupted the video a little bit. But it's all right. Let us keep on stroking. But tell you what, man, all the hype right now, all the no-name nationals, I can't believe how many people are involved now with this. It's going to be a huge event. So if you want to check it out, just go in there on YouTube, hit No Name Nationals. There's a lot of videos right now on that. Check out John Wilburn's page. Him and Dallas both do a lot of lives and weekly updates. So go check them out. And also, check out Kiwi's Classic and Customs. The man does phenomenal work. He's got some great cars that come in and out over there. And give him some love, go over there, subscribe to him, and enjoy his videos. But we're gonna go ahead and get this last piston in over here for this side, and then I'll finish the build up. I mean, I know y'all don't want to sit here for 45 minutes watch me put 8 pistons in. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all are a great audience. I love your comments, and I really appreciate y'all supporting my channel. Like I said in other videos, I'm planning on updating my equipment to give you better quality videos, because in the beginning part of this video, for some reason my audio is going in and out, so you're going to have to turn it up. For the guys that are kind of hearing impaired, I still trying to figure out how to do the closed caption on the videos. As soon as I figure that out, I'll get it all to you and start adding it to my videos. Check out Tony's garage. We got a lot of stuff going on over there. He just got finished putting Plane Z back together, and a little slant 6 sound righteous, and he's still got some little tweaking to do here and there, and so hopefully soon he'll get another video out on that. Doing a nice toasty burnout out in the parking lot, and get it ready for the season. And then the Junkyard Jets, I think they're supposed to be getting a channel together here soon, and kind of what I'm doing with Slag Hammer. and doing the updates and everything on their build. And one of the junkyard guys, John, went out and got him this nice Cadillac. I mean, I don't remember the year is, but you can go check it out on Time's Garage. And he's planning on doing a little build with it, but it's a super cool car. So I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to be doing with it. And everybody just have a good time. But get this one in, I gotta get changed out. I gotta head over to the shop and do some work on slag hammer today. After I get these pistons in, get the motor cover back up. I don't want all this work going to waste because I forgot to cover the motor up. All right, let's get this one knocked in. I always try to get everything lined up and get her popped in. Let's see if we can tighten it up a little bit. Put the hammer around this time so I don't get nailed with it. All right, guys, I'm gonna sit here and get the rest of these pistons in and get the block rack back up. Next installment, we'll be putting in the cam lifters and timing chain oil pump. I appreciate y'all. Good. Give me a like and subscribe. Helps me out on my end to provide better content down the road here. Other than that, guys, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you down the road.